A new crisis center is officially opening up in Travis County today. It focuses on providing short-term emergency mental health care for adults. Jacqueline Sarkeesian is live at that new facility with more. Morning, Jacqueline.
Good morning, Dave. This center has been 10 years in the making, so the staff is very excited for it to officially open. And one of those staff members is Laura Slocum. She's one of the administrators. Thank you for joining us this morning. Talk a little bit about how unique this center is.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here. So the Judge Guy Herman Center is the first of its kind in Travis County. Prior to us opening today, there was no other setting in the county that would accept folks experiencing a mental health crisis on an emergency detention or a psychiatric commitment in anything other than a hospital setting or an emergency department setting. So the goal of the Judge Guy Herman Center is that when people come here experiencing a mental health crisis, that we stabilize that crisis as quickly as possible and get folks back on that path to recovery and return them to their communities where they can thrive and contribute to the best of their abilities and receive supports and follow-ups in their communities that continues that path on recovery.
And this is short-term inpatient, correct?
Right. So this isn't an inpatient setting in that it's not a hospital, but it's a short-term secured residential facility to provide that safe, quick intervention to stabilize that crisis and get folks back out to the community.
And we've been reporting that walk-ins, this is not a place for walk-ins. You have to be referred, specifically law enforcement or from other practices. Talk about why through law enforcement.
Yeah, so that's absolutely right. The Judge Guy Herman Center is not for self-referrals. There's a lot of different things people can do for self-referrals, which I can talk about later if that would be helpful. But the referrals for folks coming to the Judge Guy Herman Center will be primarily from law enforcement and other integral care crisis programs like the Mobile Crisis Team, Psychiatric Emergency Services. The reason why it's so important to have this option for law enforcement to bring folks in who are experiencing a mental health crisis is it creates opportunities for jail diversion and hospital diversion. So we certainly don't want to criminalize mental health unnecessarily, especially for victimless crimes. And when officers have an option to bring someone here, it reduces the likelihood of someone being arrested who's experiencing a mental health crisis. It also reduces the likelihood that someone has to go to a hospital when they experience a mental health crisis. Most people experiencing a crisis, the crisis can be resolved within the first 48 hours. Which means that costly interventions and highly restrictive interventions, like hospitals and emergency departments, are not always necessary. So this is just an amazingly unique piece of the crisis continuum of care in Travis County. And as you said earlier, we're really excited to open our doors.
Yeah, because it's been, a decade in the making.
Years in the making with numerous stakeholders, and we couldn't have done it without collaboration of our partners with the St. David's Foundation, Central Health, and all the folks at Integral Care that have worked so hard to make this happen.
All right, well, thank you for that information. We're going to talk to Laura in about 30 minutes, so she'll tell us more, the different types of treatment, how many patients they'll be able to see. That will be coming up in 30 minutes. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.